segment as well as the oil and gas segment.
Okay. And just you touch upon this CRAMS segment. If I look at the numbers also, the CRAMS segment is continuously doing better and better with every quarter. So what kind of revenue we envisage, let's say FY25, 26 from our CRAMS business? Currently, we are doing run rate of more than 25 crore per quarter.
Yeah. So let me not give you numbers on that, but let me give you an idea of what we are doing for that. We expanded our R&D significantly last year or 2 years ago. We are further expanding by additional 2x in the same site in an adjoining plot, our R&D center. That will happen by next year, 2025. We have what we've been calling the world's largest pellet plant. It's certainly one of the world's largest pellet plant, and I have been calling it the world's largest pellet plant. And both the R&D infrastructure and the pellet plant are significant, extensive infrastructure, and all of this is focused towards the CRAMS business model. And so our CRAMS business model has become the growth engine of the company. Our R&D is the growth engine of the company. It's the foundation upon which the company stands on. And so we are very upbeat and positive on the CRAMS business model going forward, and we are continuously adding new customers. And these customers are the innovators, and they are across the industry spectrum. And so we are not dependent on any industry spectrum. They are really across the industry spectrum, and our partnerships are in the pipeline of these customers, and we are working with the R&D directors and the technology directors and the CTOs of these companies, of these innovators. And so the vision of the CRAMS business model remains upbeat, even more upbeat than ever, which, if it is possible, because I've always been very upbeat on this business model, but I'm even more upbeat than ever on this business model, and we should be seeing, and we should be having really good fun with the numbers on this business model in the years to come.
Okay. Thanks, Aman, and wish you all a very happy Diwali. Thanks for answering all.
You as well. Thank you for questions.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Atishray Malhan with Forts Group. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, good evening, team, and thanks for the opportunity. I have a couple of questions, but first a clarification. So in the investor presentation and the results disclosure you provided, the stated revenue for large-scale manufacturing and contract manufacturing is about 75 and 64 crores respectively. But in the corresponding quarter, the corresponding disclosures you had provided last year for Q2 and FY24, the stated revenue seemed to be 112 and 27 crores. So has there been some sort of a reclassification for some products from large scale to contract manufacturing?
Yes, there was a reclassification in the last year's quarter. That's why there was a change.
Okay. Can you maybe provide some names or some contracts, something of the sort?
Pardon?
Will you be able to provide the names of the chemicals or some contracts that have been shifted from large scale to contract manufacturing?
Unfortunately, no. For confidentiality reasons, we cannot do that.
Okay, fair enough. So I didn't hear you too well earlier, so I need a clarification regarding the Baker Hughes contract. So again, please correct me if I'm wrong. So last quarter you had provided a guidance of about 200 to 250 crores from the contract for this fiscal year, and about 350 crores for next year. And now, because of some of the delays that you had spoken about earlier, the guidance for next year seems to be intact, but the revenue guidance for this year will be a bit less than 200 to 250 crores, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, fair enough. And just another question. I think last quarter you had mentioned that there was some delays in the Otsuka contract. Has that been sort of figured out, and is that commercialized from this quarter?
Yes. It's already back on track, and we have already received the orders.
Okay. So those numbers are reflecting in this 56 crores in the contract manufacturing for this quarter?
By 2026.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. That's all from my side, and wishing the team a happy Diwali.
Happy Diwali to you too.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Rohit Ohri with Progressive Shares. Please go ahead.
Hi, Aman. Congrats on adding one more feather to the hat, that is the Sequence Group. Every 9 months or so, the team at Aether keeps surprising us with something or the other. So my question is that if you can take us through what exactly are these natural bio-based products, and where are the applications, and what is the market size that we intend to cater to?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the kind wishes. If it is up to me, it will be much more frequent than 9 months. So I hope we will be making it even more briefer than that. As you can imagine, it takes a lot of efforts and coordination to be able to get approval for name release, especially for these innovators who are very, very finicky with how their publicity is seen worldwide. And so I think the fact that we're able to get a few of these, I think speaks to the kind of partnerships that we have. But hopefully it will be much more in the future, and we are continuously working towards that. I'm afraid I'm not able to give a lot of information because, as you can imagine, these are the R&D pipeline projects rolling off into commercialization for these innovators, and we have been working with them on developing the process for the last 3 years now, and they have been before that they were in discovery for a couple of years at least, and so this all things have been rolling off now for the last 5-6 years from the pipeline into commercialization. And as you can imagine, these sort of companies are very, very secretive on what these products are, what their applications are, and what the future looks like. But these are natural bio-based products, continuous reaction technology, very innovative technology of making these materials, which previously, as you can imagine, have been obtained from raw materials which were based in crude oil. And so they are the end industry applications. We are now switching out the products which were previously available from crude oil to completely bio-based raw materials and starting materials towards the sustainability of these end applications. And as I mentioned before in an answer to a previous question, these are market development quantities for this customer and launch quantities. And so if 100 ton is a launch quantity, then the ultimate commercialization will be much bigger, which we do hope to be a partner for with the Sequence Group. And so hopefully much more to come in the years to come on this as well.
But is it possible to share from which of the segments that you'll be working? Because Sequence generally works on pharma, personal care, and some specialty custom-made products. So if you can just share some more details, whether which is the domain that you intend to work on with them.
It's not the pharma. Let me just say that.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Will you be interested in moving more towards certain products which are related to PEKK or certain resins or fluoropolymers or something like that?
I didn't get the first one. I got the fluoropolymers, and then I didn't get the other two.
Polyether ketone, PEKK.
Okay. Yeah. So in the general field of polymerizations, we are entering into significantly. And so, for example, the polyols, converged polyols that we make with the Saudi Aramco Technologies company, and that's before the commercialization is a polyol example. We are, for example, the Novoloop is the depolymerization of a PE polymer back into monomers, and then circular economy and upcycle towards other polyols. A lot of the Baker Hughes products are polymers, in fact, and used in oil field services. And we are working on potential contract manufacturing of hydrocarbon resins with other partners as well. And so we are in the general field of polymers, but I don't think we are ones that we are talking about.
Would you be interested in working, as you say, that going forward there are many things more in the offering from this partnership that's come from Sequence? Would you be interested in working with Arkema also?
Arkema?
Yeah, ARKEMA.
Well, we don't have any business with them currently, but for sure we'll be interested, yes.
Okay. So my next question for Rohan, right? Sir, we used to, there was a time when the molecules which were sold by Aether were at par or they were much, much better in terms of the pricing with the Chinese counterparts. And post that, and we see that since last 3 or 4 quarters, there's been immense pressure. Sir, your thoughts on where exactly and what is exactly that is going wrong? Because there was a time when we were in a position to sell certain products or molecules which were far better than the Chinese prices.
Yes. So even today, we are holding majority market shares on all the products in spite of the fire accident which has happened 9 months ago, 11 months ago. The raw material prices have also corrected quite a bit, and there's a pressure in the APIs and the AIs, which is pharmaceutical end products and agro end products. And hence, the prices had to be in line with the Chinese competition, and we are still competitive or at par with the Chinese prices. And this is clearly reflected in our margins also. In terms of the percentage margins, where we are producing more, we are still able to retain the same percentage margins, which shows that we are able to perform better. And again, if you see, we do not have a better business edge as compared to China in terms of the currency devaluation, in terms of the export benefits, and so on and so forth. So I consider that we are doing better in this dire circumstances also.
So on price, is it possible or is it fair to assume that going forward that we'll try to inch more towards the traditional margin levels which we used to have in the past to the numbers of like 28 or 30% EBITDA margin kind of level for the second half of the year?
Yes, that's the target.
Okay. Okay, so thank you for answering my question. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. As there are no further questions, we have reached the end of question and answer session. I would now like to hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
Thank you everyone for participating in the call. We hope that we have addressed the majority of your questions. If you still have any further questions, then please feel free to reach out to us. Stay safe and have a great day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of HDFC Securities, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us. You may now disconnect your lines.